Hello everyone, this is Steve Riss, the host of Sports Talk with RKJ, and today I am here with your preview of Week 7. So we'll start Week 7 with the Thursday night game, as we have the Kansas City Chiefs traveling to Denver to face the Broncos, and this should be a really interesting game because of the injuries Kansas City has on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, you look at Eric Fisher is out. You look at Sammy Watkins is probably going to be out as well, and then you also look at the fact that they might not have Chris Jones, which could really hurt the Chiefs in the run game as well. So this is going to be a really interesting game between these two teams, but I think at the end of the day, Patrick Mahomes is going to pull it out, and the Chiefs are going to win. But I think they're going to struggle to stop the run again. I think they're going to struggle to stop the run with I think Phillip Lindsay and Devontae Booker have really good games. No, Phillip Lindsay and Royce Freeman have really good games. I think that they run the ball in Kansas City without Chris Jones, and I also think that Flacco will have a decent game too. But I think at the end of the day, Mahomes is not going to lose 3 in a row, and I think that the Chiefs are going to go into Denver. I'm going to go into Denver and snap their 2-game losing streak and beat the Broncos 28-24 in Denver. We have a matchup in Green Bay where the Raiders travel to Lambeau Field to face the Packers. And I think the Packers definitely win this game, but I think the Raiders hang in there for a little bit. I think they have some success running the football with Josh Jacobs. I think Derek Carr is a decent game, but I think the pressure on Derek Carr and Aaron Rodgers making enough plays is going to be the difference in this game. I think it'll be a competitive game early, but I think eventually the Packers are going to pull away in the second half. And I got the Packers beating the Raiders on Sunday 27-17. We got a match of struggling teams down in Atlanta as the 3-3 Rams, who've lost 3 in a row, travel down to Atlanta to face the 1-5 Falcons, who've lost 4 in a row. And I think the Falcons defense, which has struggled all year, continues to struggle. I think this is the Rams get right game, especially on offense. I think Jared Goff has a good game. I think Todd Gurley has a good game. I think Cooper Kupp has a good game. I think the Rams really get their offense back on track. And for Atlanta, I think, Matt Ryan makes some plays, but not enough plays. And I think Atlanta right now is a mess. They're 1-5, and there is a very good chance, even before the season, that Dan Quinn gets fired. His specialty is defense. This defense has been absolutely horrendous, and I think he's starting to lose this defense. And it's all but certain by the end of the season that Dan Quinn is going to be fired. We have a matchup between 2 rookie quarterbacks at MetLife Stadium this week as Kyler Murray faces Daniel Jones, and I think this should be a really good game between these two teams. The Cardinals are hot. They've won their last 2 games. The Giants have lost 2 in a row, and I think this should be a really good game between these two teams. The Giants probably won't have Sterling Shepard, but I think they will get Evan Ingram and Saquon Barkley back, and that's going to be big for those teams. I think getting those 2 guys back, that's going to be really big. If they do get those 2 guys back, that'll be big for the Giants. I think the biggest thing the Giants will do in this game is I think they'll get pressure on Kyler Murray, and that'll be a big key. Also, I think they'll have success running the ball. Even if Saquon Barkley doesn't play, Wayne Gallman will probably play, and even John Hillman. I think Arizona has had a lot of trouble stopping the run. I think that the Giants will have their way running the football, and I think that'll help Daniel Jones off play action. And I think the Giants are going to put up some points in this game. But I think the Cardinals put up points too. I think Kyler Murray makes plays in this game to Larry Fitzgerald. I think David Johnson catches balls out of the backfield too. But at the end of the day, I think the Giants ended up winning this game close. I got the Giants beating the Cardinals this week 27-23. We have an AFC South matchup in Indianapolis as the 4-2 Texans face the 3-2 Chiefs, and this is an interesting game. I mean, you look at the Texans; they've been playing really well the last couple of weeks. Their front seven's really good. Their offensive line has improved. Deshaun Watson has played great, and I think this has potential to be a really good game. Because you look at the Colts, their roster is really good. Their offensive line is good. Marlon Mack is good. I mean, Jacoby Brissett is a solid backup quarterback. And I think this is a competitive game. And the difference is going to be, I think, Deshaun Watson makes more plays than Jacoby Brissett, and the Texans make that defensive stop at the end of the game. And that's why I think the Texans win this game. And I got the Texans winning this game over the Colts 31-24. We got an NFC North matchup in Detroit, and the Lions come off a brutal Monday night loss to the Packers, 23-22. The Vikings coming off 2 consecutive victories. Kirk Cousins playing great in both games, and I think Kirk Cousins continues to play well. He always plays well in early games. Let's look at Kirk Cousins. He's like a top 10 quarterback in early kickoffs. For some reason, primetime games he looks like a below average quarterback, but in early kickoffs he's a top 10. He's a top 10 quarterback when the game's at 1 o'clock. Kirk Cousins wishes every game was at 1 o'clock, and I think it's more of the same this week. I think Kirk Cousins plays pretty well. I think Dalvin Cook has his way on the ground. I think the Lions move the ball, but I think they kick field goals instead of scoring touchdowns, just like they did against the Packers. And I think the Lions lose another tough, really close, tough game. And I got the Vikings winning in Detroit 24-19. We got a matchup of 2 struggling teams in Cincinnati as the 2-4 Jaguars head to Cincinnati to face the 0-6 Bengals. And I think in this game, the difference is going to be the Bengals are going to have trouble stopping Leonard Fournette. That's going to open things up for Gardner Minshew. Minshew will have a good day off play action. He's going to get the ball to DJ Shark. I think Jacksonville will do a decent job moving the football. And I think the pass rush of the Jaguars is going to be the big difference in this game because the Bengals offensive line is absolutely terrible. And I think the Bengals line is absolutely terrible, and I think they can do it with Josh Allen, with Calais Campbell, and Yannick Ngakoue. They're going to get pressure on Andy Dalton, and I think Joe Mixon will have his way on the ground. I think he'll have a decent game on the ground, but I think the pressure on Dalton and the inability of the Bengals to stop the run will be the difference in this game, and that's why I got Jacksonville winning this game 23-17 in Cincinnati. The 49ers travel all the way to Washington to face the Redskins this week, and this game is, I think in this game a lot of people think it's going to be a complete blowout. I think this game is going to be a little bit close at the beginning because the Niners will be a little bit rusty traveling all the way. They're a West Coast team playing in the Eastern time zone. I think they're going to struggle early in this game. They're going to be a little rusty, but at the end of the day, I think the run game of Matt Breida and Tevin Coleman and the pass rush of Nick Bosa, DeForest Buckner, and Dee Ford is gonna take over this game. I think in the second half, the Niners will pull away in this game, and I got the Niners beating the Redskins this week 27-10, and this will probably be the last week that the Redskins don't start Dwayne Haskins. I think after this week, Dwayne Haskins will start for the rest of the season. We got an AFC East matchup in Buffalo as the 0-6 Dolphins travel to Buffalo to face the 4-1 Buffalo Bills. And I think this game, even though it's a division game and the Dolphins do know the Bills, I think the Bills completely blow out the Dolphins. I think Frank Gore and Devin Singletary have huge days on the ground. I think Josh Allen has his best game of the year. I think the Bills shut down the Dolphins run game. I think they put pressure on Ryan Fitzpatrick, and I think this is a complete blowout. I think that the Bills win this game big. When was the last time the Bills were a 17-point favorite? They are this week, and I think they even cover the spread this week. I got the Bills beating the Dolphins 34-10 this week in Buffalo. We'll go to the 4 o'clock games, and the first one is the Saints traveling to Chicago to face the Rams. The Saints traveling to Chicago to face the Bears, and I think that this will be the first time the Saints will lose with Teddy Bridgewater as their quarterback. I think the Bears defense, even though they lost to Akeem Hicks for the season, I think with Roquan Smith, I think with Khalil Mack, I think with Eddie Goldman, I think with Leonard Floyd and Eddie Jackson, I think this defense contains the Saints offense, and I think they contain Alvin Kamara in the pass game and in the run game. I think Teddy Bridgewater is very conservative. He's not going to take a lot of chances. I think this is going to be a very low scoring game with these two teams. But I think the difference is going to be, I think Allen Robinson is going to have a big game, and the Saints defense is going to contain Alvin Kamara, and that's going to through the Saints run game of Alvin Kamara and Latavius Murray, and that's going to be the difference in this game. And I think Khalil Mack makes a play on defense. The Bears may even get a defensive score, and I think the Bears win this game, and I got to win it 20-13 at home against the Saints. The Ravens travel out to Seattle to face the Seahawks this week, and this is another interesting game because the Ravens did acquire Marcus Peters yesterday in a trade from the Rams, and then the Rams going out and got Jalen Ramsey. But I think this game is going to be a pretty good game. But I think at the end of the day, I think Seattle won't have a ton of success running the ball because the Ravens stopped the run well. But I think Russell Wilson will have a good game. I think he'll have a big game throwing the ball. I think he'll throw a couple touchdowns. And I think the Seahawks defense will contain that Ravens running game, which will force Lamar to throw from the pocket. And that's what you want to do against the Ravens. You want to force Lamar Jackson to be a pocket passer. You don't want the Ravens to get their run game going. And I think Seattle wins this game. It's a loud environment for Jackson. I think he'll struggle a little bit. But I got Seattle winning this game. And I got Seattle winning this game 27-20. The Chargers head to Tennessee to face the Titans. Two struggling teams. Both are 2-4. The Chargers head to Tennessee to face the Titans this week, and I think the Titans are going to start Ryan Tannehill instead of Marcus Mariota, and I think this is the right move. I think that the run game of the Titans they're going to run the ball really well. I think Derrick Henry goes for over 100 yards. That really helps Ryan Tannehill on Sunday. I think Tannehill will be able to get the ball to A.J. Brown and Corey Davis. And I think this run defense, this offensive line for the Chargers is absolutely atrocious. And Phillip Rivers has not been as good this year. He's starting to show his age. And I think this is a close game. I think Rivers makes some plays, but not enough plays because of the lack of protection and the poor run defense. I think the Chargers lose this game, and I got the Titans winning 24-21 in Tennessee on Sunday. We got the big NFC East battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and Dallas Cowboys. The Eagles travel down to Dallas to face the Cowboys. And when you look at these two teams, they're both 3-3, but the one thing I like more about the Eagles than about the Cowboys is I like the direction the Eagles are going. They know Doug Peterson's the head coach. They know he's the leader of this team, and you can't say that in Dallas. I think players in Dallas are starting to lose faith in Jason Garrett. You saw that video when the players came off the sidelines, not even clapping, not even giving him a high five. I think Garrett is starting to lose this team in Dallas. And you look at the Cowboys, some of their injuries, there's a good chance they might not even have Amari Cooper. Tyron Smith will probably be back, but we don't know for sure if he's going to be back. Him or Lyle Collins will be back. So I think in this game that Wentz will have a good game. I think he'll be pressured a little bit, so I think that's why he won't have as good of a game. I think the Cowboys will do a good job containing that Eagles run game, but I think Wentz will make enough plays where the Eagles will score enough points. And I think on the defensive side of the ball, the Eagles will get pressure with Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox, and I think they'll be able to contain Ezekiel Elliott. And I think Dak Prescott will make some plays, but not enough plays. But I got the Eagles going on the road. I got the Eagles going on the road this week to beat the Cowboys in the division, and I got the Eagles in first place after this week, winning this game 23-20 in Dallas. We'll wrap up the show talking about the Monday night game, and this game is my upset pick of the week. I took the Jets last week. My upset pick of the week, it worked, and I think look at the Patriots last week. As the Pats play the Jets this week on Monday Night Football. Look at the Patriots last week. The Patriots against the Giants. They ran for over 100 yards, but for most of the game they struggled to run the ball. They struggled to protect Tom Brady, and the Jets defense, the defensive personnel is better than the Giants defensive personnel. So I think in this game the Jets shut down the Patriots running game, forced Brady to be one-dimensional, and I think on offense, this is a totally different team. The Jets are a totally different team with Sam Darnold. I think Darnold has a good game, and he gets the ball. I think they'll take away Robbie Anderson because Gilmore will be on him, but I think he gets the ball to Jamison Crowder. Chris Herndon is back for the Jets. Le'Veon Bell has not a great game running the ball, but a pretty good game running the ball. And I think that the Jets pull an upset here. I think at being at home in the division, the Patriots got to lose one of these games. Well, they got to lose sometime. And I think this is the week where the Patriots fall into that trap in the division on the road against the Jets are 1-4, but they're definitely better than their record. And I'm going with the upset this week. I got the Patriots upsetting the Jets at MetLife Stadium on Monday night. I got the Jets winning 24-20 over the Patriots in the upset. So that's going to wrap it up for your Week 7 preview. I'm going to have this video dropped on Facebook Live at around probably 1 o'clock. And then we're going to have the video of our whole show dropped at around 5 o'clock. So be on the lookout for that. We want to thank everybody, especially Jace, we want to thank everybody who joined us on Facebook Live for both shows, especially Jace Garcia for this show. Jace Garcia has, I've seen him commenting, I've seen him watching. So we definitely want to thank Jace for watching this show. I'll be watching his show tonight, John with the G-Men. And make sure on Facebook Live you watch John. Make sure on Facebook Live tonight at 5 o'clock you watch John with the G-Men, starring Jace Garcia as the host, Joe and co-host Joe Aguirre and Sean Scanlon. So make sure you're watching that as they recap the Giants-Pats game and break down the Giants-Cardinals game this week. So that's going to wrap it up for our Week 7 preview. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll have both the show Sports Talk with RKJ earlier this morning dropped on Facebook, and this show dropped on Facebook. I hope you enjoyed the Week 7 preview, and have a great weekend, everybody.